Hi, I'm Glenn.
I'm Jerry, and I'm here with Glenn today.
Thanks for joining us on Great Games, Better Brains. Today, I asked Jerry to come talk for a couple of reasons. I'm not sure why.
I'm really drawing a blank here.
But I am glad you're here.
Thank you.
Kind of a
Good
dork,
to be here.
but
Good to be here.
I know you're the expert on a certain kind of a game, and obviously we're talking about games, and so I wanted you to come and share some of your expertise about something called Second Life. Maybe you've heard about Second Life. Second Life is a 3D virtual environment, real time, where you as the user act as an avatar character and you interact with other people and other stuff. We're going to be talking with John Jones in some later episodes about World of Warcraft, which is also a 3D virtual world. But I wanted to start with Second Life, and I guess my first question, we're going to show you what it looks like here in a couple minutes, but just explain it maybe better for me and for people watching what Second Life really is. What is it?
It sounds kind of sad, really. A Second Life, come on. First Life didn't work out for you, so you feel kind of odd. And in some ways, you know, it's a game, but it isn't a game. Yeah. The World of Warcraft, like you mentioned, is really, it has a point and a mission and a purpose. Yeah. Second Life's, the whole point of it is just to go explore this world and sort of be there. It doesn't have an outcome like a game that you would normally think of. So it's game-like, but not so much. But it is a computer-generated virtual environment in which all the content, it's an invisible universe in which everything there was built by the people that use that universe. So you'll find everything from a reproduction of the Louvre to a desert environment in which people reenact medieval desert dwellers, and they have fights and ride camels, and it's all over the place. I've
always wanted to experience the medieval desert
Exactly.
I do know that teachers have been using these, especially in some cases science teachers, to reenact certain things in Second Life that it's very difficult for students to experience face-to-face or in the real world.
Absolutely.
Both big and small. Two examples for one teacher I know talked about, created a heart. And so kids were actually flying through or walking through or the heart with the four different chambers, and they could explore the heart at a much more realistic way than just, oh, here's the four chambers. They're actually in the heart. That's one way. But I also heard about another one who used Second Life to create a solar system. On the other extreme of size, kids were literally flying through the solar system and interacting with different planets and finding information about different planets. So this is a tool that lots of teachers are using and have used and continue to use as some instruction. And the part about Second Life that I'm still trying to wrap my head around is there is no point. And you said there is no point. It's not a game. It's just whatever you want to create, you can create. What do you want to make it? What do you want it to be? And there have been, one of the cool things to me, the exciting things about it is the ability to create those simulations. You know, I'd love to be able to build a human heart that I could crawl around inside. In the real world, I can't afford it. Maybe, you know, Walt Disney World could, but in the virtual environment, I can create with no expense to myself a cell in which I crawl around inside the nucleus and explore the parts. So we're gonna walk through an example of what that looks like, but I also want some questions about Second Life, and I know there was a teen Second Life, and they're called grids.
Yes.
Are kids actually allowed in Second Life, or how do you get in, and what do parents, talk real quick if you could, about parents' responsibility and things to think about.
The thing, there again, I'm glad you brought up teen Second Life, but what we're looking at is the main grid, in which this is an 18 or older environment. And so you need to be 18 years of age to be in there. And there are areas in there that probably aren't the best. Just like there's areas in my town that I wouldn't let my kid run around. And in answer to that, there's teen Second Life for 13 to 17-year-olds. So the environment we're looking at is for adults, and I think you could log on and show your student or your child around in there and be safe watching them.
So but parents,
they can't create their own account.
So parents really should make the account, take their kids in, monitor and follow along, like we've been talking about before.
In the main grid.
In the
main grid.
Well, walk us through. This is we're going to try to show you what it looks like as we walk through this, and we're going to take you to just an example of Second Life
Main
and what
grid.
people have created. This is the International Space Museum. So
Yeah.
quickly kind of just walk through and show some of the features, fly around so that
Sure.
people who haven't been in Second Life
Yeah,
know what we're
this
talking
is
about.
just a tiny taste of what's possible out here in this world. But I'm in, oh, and I actually fell asleep. That's lovely. Let me wake up here. Here we go. I'd been standing too long. But here's a virtual space museum. Now I can, go, if I can afford it, I can go to Houston or something and see a lot of this stuff. But in this world, I can walk around, look at rockets, read information on them, and literally sort of, I guess literally isn't the right word, virtually, I can look up at these rockets and say, oh my gosh, that's exactly what they look like, how they represent in scale. Interesting, fun thing about Second Life is I can fly. And so I can, to save myself a little walking, I can go around in this world and fly around and observe items. So kind of get the bird's eye view. So you're not constricted by the laws of physics or cost or expense or geography. I can virtually be anywhere. So around us are some examples of rockets from NASA's history. There's Russian rockets in here. It's just a great sight. So that's just a tiny sample of what is achievable using simulations in this environment. So it's exciting.
So yeah, just so you guys know, Second Life is one of those things that you can, that is free to get in terms of, you have to create an account. Go to Second Life. Is it secondlife.com or sl.com?
SL, or look for Linden Labs.
Okay.
Linden Labs is the company that actually created Second Life.
Okay, so you do need to create an account, but once you're
18 or older
right?
in this environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Teen Second Life in our next episode of Great Games, Better Brains, but go check it out. Lots of resources online, and we'll talk about some of those maybe in the future. But another great way to interact with 3D virtual environments, Second Life. Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Join us next time. Thanks for coming.
Okay.